The first thing I want to do, though, is this, man. I want to make sure that everybody understands, not myself, nor Bitcoin Mike, nor anyone else who invited you to this presentation. Guys, none of us are actually the owners of this company. I know people are asking us. No, we are not, right? We are people just like you. You know, a short time ago, somebody approached us. They shared this information with us, and we did exactly what we're going to ask you to do tonight. Is we paid attention, we studied it, we did our due diligence, and we realized after looking at it from a risk-reward standpoint, this simply made too much sense for us to not engage with it, and it fit within our risk parameters. I just want you to do that same thing for you and your family, and then make that decision based off of what you decide. Now, what we're going to cover tonight is simple. 3 quick things. Number 1, the Cryptex offer. I'm going to share it with you. I'm going to tell you who they are, what it is they do, and what's in it for you. But I promise you, when I do that, at some point you're going to have this moment where you're going to say, there's no way that that can be real. That's just a little bit too generous. So we're going to provide the proof that the offer is indeed real. And then finally, guys, I'm going to cover the optional referral program. I tell you, when I first saw this, the first thought I had was, man, everybody I know needs this, right? And what I loved about it was, if you have that same feeling, if you want to go out and share it with people, again, you don't have to, but if you do, I'm going to show you how you can start making money tonight. You don't have to wait for a couple years down the road. You can actually start making money right now if you want to. So first things first, guys, just imagine for a moment that you were driving down your street in your town, your city, wherever you live at, and you saw this billboard that said bank loans, $30,000 or $40,000, guaranteed approval. Now look at this part. We're not going to check your credit. We're not going to check your job history. We don't even care who you are. You don't even have to bring your ID. We don't even care who you are. If you have a $100 processing fee, we're going to give you $30,000 or $40,000. You get to walk out the door with it today. Guys, I promise you, if you saw that and you went down to that bank, you'd see a line stretching across the horizon of people waving their $100 bills in the air. And also, if you came back about a month later, you'd see a bank that was probably out of business. Because let's face it, if they were giving out $30,000 or $40,000 loans and they weren't even checking to see who the people were, a lot of people simply would never come back. Now, as crazy as that sounds, I'm going to show you how Cryptex has figured out a way to take some of the key elements from a crazy offer like this, make it into reality, but eliminating the risk from the banks, eliminating the risk from everybody so that everyone has a chance to win. So first of all, Cryptex, it's a community-based project utilizing a blockchain-based DeFi staking protocol as its main point for earning. Now, they maintain partnerships with banks, insurance companies, and account holders, and they're working to make sure that everybody gets to profit. Now, Cryptex offers this unique DeFi hybrid contract that consists of 2 parts, a smart contract and a decentralized Oracle network. There are currently over 800,000 account holders, so this may be new to you, but it's not new, guys. In fact, it's been around now since 2016. We're now operating in our 9th year of operation, and what they've done over that time is really change people's lives financially. Now, what is staking? It's the process of keeping your crypto assets locked, in this case Bitcoin, for a contractual period of time in order to generate passive income. Locked assets protect the network's ability to generate crypto profits, as well as provide a reward for the staker/participant. By the way, that's me and you. We get to receive daily returns for doing this. This is very similar to getting a CD from your bank. If you went to your bank right now and said, give me your interest rate for CD terms, you'd notice a pattern right away. The longer you let them keep your money, the higher the interest they provide for you, because the longer they know they can keep your money, the more times they can profit from it. Therefore, they can share in those profits with you. Now, what we have here with Cryptex is an incredible profit partnership. 4 parts, including you. Everybody has their part to do, but when they do those parts seamlessly, everybody gets to win. So for your part, you're going to simply create a free account with Cryptex using only your email address and a password. Remember, no identification required. I'll show you why here in a second. You're going to pay a $100 processing fee for a DeFi staking contract, and then you will simply decide, do I want my contract to be for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years or 7 years. And oh, by the way, you can get up to 80 of these contracts. Now, for the bank's part, they're going to make a loan directly to the staking contract on your behalf. That's important. The fact that they're not giving you the money and saying, go do the right thing, they're simply putting it directly into the staking contract. Well, that eliminates the risk of you and I doing anything crazy with the money, which is why they don't need our job history, our credit check, etc., because we're not putting our hands on the money initially. Now, those loans are going to be for the 2 and 3 year contracts, $30,240 that they're going to put into the staking contract on your behalf, and $43,200 for the 5 and 7 year contracts. Now, for the bank's part, they're going to receive a 6.75% interest. They're going to get that every single year, and they're going to get it for every single loan. And then at the end of the loan, they're going to get back all of their initial capital before you or I get to touch anything. Now, an insurance company then steps in and they close the risk loop. They're going to insure the staking wallet, that's Cryptex, for catastrophic loss or default, thus guaranteeing the bank that even if something happens to Cryptex, the bank still gets their money back. For the insurance company's parts, they receive an automatic monthly premium of $210 for the 2 and 3 year loans, and they're also going to get $300 for the 5 and 7 year loans. They get that every single month, month after month, and this removes all the risk from the bank. Finally, the smart contract, guys. This does all the heavy lifting. It calculates our daily profits, 0.1 to 0.3% micro compounded 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's working for us. It pays the bank its annual interest as well as the initial loan capital back at the end. It pays the insurance company their monthly premiums every single month, right as rain. And then finally, it assigns the remaining profits to you at the end of the contract's terms. You're going to see when you log in, you've got some choices, guys. You can go out and get the 2 year contract. They do it by month, so the 24 month. You can actually get a bonus pack where you can get pay for 10 of these, but get 15 contracts, so 5 bonus contracts. You can do the same thing with the 3 year contracts or the 3 year packs, or you can get a 5 year contract or a 7 year contract, and you can get these in any combination that you're looking for. Now, remember, there's a difference based off of what you decide to select up front, what your return will be on the other end. So let me share that with you so you can start figuring out the best mix of contracts for you and your family based off of your financial rewards that you're looking for and how soon you're looking for them. Now, if you pick the 2 year staking term, I want you to remember you're going to be responsible for a $100 processing fee, but that's not what you're earning from. What you're earning from is the $30,240 loan that right away will be placed into the staking contract on your behalf, and that loan is where the compound interest is going to start accruing from. So it's a big amount to start with. The risk capital is not yours, but it's a big amount to start with to get you well on the way to getting some tremendous results. And this is what's going to happen. This is going to micro compound for 2 years. Everybody's going to get paid all along the way. Insurance company every month. The bank's going to get their interest every year, and at the conclusion of that 2 years, the bank will get back their $30,240, and what's left over will be for you. And after just 2 years of staking, what's left over will be a little over $22,000 that you can put into your pocket for you and your family for every 2 year staking contract that you decide to engage in today. Now, if you want the 3 year contract, once again, $30,240 loan, it's going to actually stake now for a year longer. You're going to get back a little over $35,000. The 5 year contract gets a lot more extreme because not only is it 2 years longer of staking, it's a much bigger initial loan to the staking contract, almost 50% bigger. So after 5 years of all that incredible compounding, a little over $471,000 left over for you and your family. And guys, the 7 year contract with 2 more years of compounding from this level, we're talking $1.5 million, guys. So you can pick whichever one you want in any combination that you like, but at the end of the day, you're going to pick what works best for you and your family, again, based off of your particular needs. Now, the way that this is going to look in your back office is that once the contract is selected, there's going to be a $100 processing fee that you're going to pay, and then the appropriate loan amount is instantly paid to the staking contract. Here's a copy of the back office. Someone in this case selected a 3 year contract. You can see right away they paid paid a $100 processing fee, but $30,240 was loaned into the staking pool on their behalf. And within 24 to 48 hours, they started earning daily profits from this amount that they were staking, guys. This is incredible because this builds up over time from this big start from the loan amount. But once again, their responsibility was only the $100 processing fee. Now, let's get to the first elephant in the room. I told you, once you heard what the offer was, at some point you were going to say, no way. And you're probably saying it right now, right? You're saying there's no way that this can be real because let's face it, there's not a person on the planet that if I said, give me $100 right now, and in 2 years, I'll give you back 22 grand. In 3 years, I could give you back 35. In 5 years, 471, or in 7 years, 1.5 million. Everybody would say the same thing. How many $100 bills can I give you if it's real? So let's show you what we went out and actually looked at to prove to ourselves, and now we want to show you what we did to actually prove that it was real. The first thing we did was, since it had been around since 2016, we were able to go out and find people, obviously, who had already been paid, and that was exciting for us because we were able to get copies of their back offices and share that information, not just with ourselves and the people that we were looking to share this with, but share it with you. And this is what we saw. This is a gentleman who had been in for a while, and he actually had, and this is back in 2023 when we were able to get these copies. And look at this, guys. In January 10th of 2023, he was able to withdraw $98,800. Now, just 1 day later, he was able to withdraw another $89,000 in change. Guys, 2 months later, on March 15th of 2023, he took out $100,000. 3 days after that, on March 18th, he took out $100,000. 2 days later, on March 20th, he took out $112,000, and finally, just another 1 day later, he took out another $100,000 in change. Guys, you add this all up, and this is more money that this person was able to withdraw from their Cryptex account than most people make in maybe 5 years, or even in some cases 10 years of working at their full-time jobs. That is absolutely incredible, and that's just the beginning, the tip of the iceberg of the story. We also found a gentleman. His name was Mo, who actually decided to be gracious enough to record and document his entire personal process so that he could share that with the team, and you can get access to that video. If you like, just ask people on your team and they can direct you to it. But here's some screenshots from what we were able to get from that video. Number one, Mo showed his actual contracts that he had in his back office, where at this time when he did this, these were 3-year contracts, but this is back when Cryptex was still providing the $43,200 even for the 3-year contracts. They no longer do that. It's $30,240, but I just want to be accurate here for this description. So Mo was able to go out and get 2 contracts. He got them on November 20th of 2020. You can see that date there. And it showed him that on November 21st of 2023, it would be exactly 3 years later. That's when his contracts would come to maturity and he would be able to collect what was due to him. Now, exactly on November 21st of 2023, this is the email he received from Cryptex support. And all it basically said was, hey, Mo, come get your dough. That's what it basically told him. It said, hey, listen, regarding DeFi hybrid contract orders, blah, 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 you got these contracts back on this date. They were going to terminate, you knew, on 11/21/2023. The total balance of the wallet right now is $501,000, but after some end-user fees, it came down to $485, and then we had to do the loan reversal. Remember, 2 contracts, $43,200 each loan to the staking contract. That's $86,400 they sent back to the bank, and what was left over for Mo was $398,745.68. So $398,745.68. I said that number twice because I wanted it to stick in your head, because here you can see that exact number, $398,745.68, deposited into his Cryptex back office. At that point, Mo continued along. He simply hit the withdraw button, and here he is showing us his non-custodial wallet. He has access to it on his cell phone. That's Mo basically showing us that he got that crypto into his external wallet completely in his control. 10.597 Bitcoin back in 2023. That was $388,653.68 after about a 4% withdrawal fee. But think about that for a moment. Almost $390,000 just because 3 years earlier, Mo made a decision that it was worth his time to get a couple of Cryptex contracts. By the way, guys, you're probably watching the price of Bitcoin skyrocket, and you know that here we are now in 2025, just a couple of short years later, that same 10.597 Bitcoin would be worth about $1.2 million. So again, incredible what's happening with Bitcoin, and we have the ability to accumulate it at a much faster rate than most human beings on the planet because of our association with Cryptex. Now, speaking of Bitcoin and blockchain, guys, here was the proof that we really wanted, because we understood about the fact that people were doing videos and providing screenshots, but we wanted the hardcore evidence, and for that, we wanted to look at the blockchain, because not only is the blockchain transparent, secure, and public, it can't be faked. And here's what we knew that a lot of people had done, and we did the same thing. Once they actually took some withdrawals, they got paid and they took withdrawals from Cryptex, they started backtracking to see what were their payment wallets that their withdrawals came from. And here's what they found. They found multiple wallets. I'm going to share just two of them with you right now. The first clearinghouse wallet that they found was this wallet right here, guys. And if you can take a look at this, I'm not sure if you can see it on your screen, but it basically says that this address has transacted 26,530 times on the Bitcoin blockchain. Now look at how much has come into this wallet and then been paid out to Cryptex recipients like me and you. 52 billion with a B, 682,588,662 that came in and then was paid out to Cryptex people just like you and me. And this is what this actually looks like on the blockchain, guys. All these red arrows are the requests that were sent out to Cryptex people, account holders. All the green arrows, that's Cryptex putting the money into these wallets, the Bitcoin, I should say, into this wallet, so they could then be withdrawn by the Cryptex account holder. So here's one that was on May 13th of 2025, $6,950,000 going out to account holders. Here's another red arrow, 451,000. Here's another red arrow, same day, 4,996,000. Another red arrow, 5,038,000. All of this in the same day. That was actually the day before the last one, but you guys you start to understand what's going on here. There's a lot of money moving through Cryptex wallets out to people just like me and you, and the only difference is they made a decision a few years ago to get involved with Cryptex. Now, finally, we looked at just one more wallet. I wanted to put this one up here because I'd never seen a wallet in my entire life that had this amount go through it. I just want you guys to see this number. This wallet actually transacted 189,830 times on the Bitcoin blockchain. And look at this. Look how much came in and then was sent out to Cryptex account holders. $516,241,580,691, guys. $516 billion, which is absolutely incredible. Now that brings me to the next obvious elephant in the room, because I had a friend that I showed this to, and the first thing he said to me was, you know what, I cannot deny Cryptex is paying out an insane amount of money, billions of dollars. We can verify that on the blockchain, but how do I know that it's still not just a giant $100 Ponzi scheme? And I was so glad he asked that question, because I really like math. And I said, let's do some math. Cryptex has a little over 800,000 account holders. Let's round it all the way up to 900,000 and multiply it by the $100 processing fee that you're referencing. That would give you a total of 90 million. Now, let's assume it didn't happen, but let's assume that all 90 million, they all got, all 900,000 of those members, they all got 80 contracts each, right, from the very beginning. That means we'd multiply 90 million by 80 contracts. That would be $7.2 billion in total that Cryptex would have been able to take in $100 bills in the lifetime of the Cryptex project. Now, that's a lot of money, no question about it, but I just showed you two wallets, and the smaller one had $52 billion worth of Bitcoin that had already been paid out to Cryptex account holders. So where's the missing $45 billion coming from in Bitcoin? Guys, the only explanation is that they're doing exactly what they said that they're doing, is that every single one of these $100 processing fees is being represented then by a $30,000 or a $40,000 plus loan. That would make sense because with all of that then compounding, it produces far more than enough for us to be able to earn these type of payouts from the Cryptex system. Now, guys, if you like what you see, then simply get your questions answered. Understand what's available to you here. I'm even showing you what you can get if you're getting the 2-year DeFi hybrid pack. $1,000 to get 15 contracts, which in 2 years will pay you out a little over 330 grand, or $1,000 to get 15 3-year contracts, which in 3 years will pay you out a little over 525 grand. Get your questions answered from the person who invited you. Get back to them and let them know your level of interest. And if you do decide to get started with this, let me be the first person to say, welcome to the Cryptex family. Guys, thanks so much for being here. Hope you found this helpful. I hope you do decide to join us, and then I look forward to celebrating your success. Thanks so much, everyone, and have a great night.